Welcome everyone to Entirebody's personal trainer tips. With me today, I have Lee with me. Lee Turkington, how are you doing today? And thank you, after all, for joining the show.
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me. Yeah, lovely today. Great. Thank you.
So let's just dive straight into it. What's your background? Where are you from? What do you do?
I'm currently based in the UK, in Lincolnshire. I've been within fitness for about 10 years now within the fitness industry. I'm currently an online coach for myself with around 80 to 100 clients. Um, work quite a lot, work with personal training as well as working online, and recently just joined with Entirebody, which has been really good fun up to now. Great start. So yeah, here today just to talk a bit about, like, say, some tips and tricks with training, and hopefully you guys can learn something and put that within your life.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you see, I've rigged my home so it looks a little bit more official, but it's my home. I mean, I can tell you're at home too. I mean, these days, now you open up in Britain again, so now, but in Norway, the gyms are still closed. A lot of people have been struggling with, being inside and trying to be motivated to, or just, how am I going to do my regular exercises when I just have my home to use as a playground, as a place to work out? Do you have any good tips, or how do you approach that?
Yeah, this has been a huge problem since last year, since we started all the big the COVID situation. So it's a thing of trying to look at. So the way I work is very big on, rather than thinking what we can't do, let's look at what we can do and how we can make it a kind of bespoke to each individual. So I could have 3 or 4 clients come with the same issue, but each person would leave with a completely different ending, let's say. So it's a thing of, again, looking at, rather than thinking, oh, we don't have a gym, well, let's use this as an opportunity to be able to use and learn new different styles of training. So why not try outside running? Why not try different CrossFit style of workout into the garden, a HIIT style, yoga? There's so many things out there, including coaches, things online, and educate yourself. It's always good to learn and educate things to be able to, when gyms do open, you might find a new love for a different style of training, and you'll find that kind of plateau you found before gyms closed. Maybe the COVID situation has been a bit of a positive to get you out of that routine. Another thing as well is we still have access to the kitchen. We still have access online. So why not look at the diet side, so nutrition side? So it's not always about physical, as we say, 70% in the kitchen, 30% in outside. So let's learn. Let's try new.
How much in the kitchen?
Styles of cooking. 70%.
Oh crap! I mean, okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to. I didn't know it was that much, but that makes sense. I know if I don't watch what I do, I just if I watch what I do and it's in that balance again, then it works out. But yeah, 70%, that makes sense. Excellent.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it links in as well. A big thing during this time has been the mental health side. I think a lot of people, to be fair, gyms have been open this past week or so, and I found with clients there's like a nice environment within the air, within the town, of people thinking of we can finally get back to a bit of normality. So this is why it's a thing of, during the lockdown, keep busy, keep yourself and find a new love for something, even if that is taking fitness out of it, a new hobby. It's always good to keep your mind. So we say better, healthier mind, and a healthier body, a healthier life, which is, it's always what we want, to become just a better version.
Yeah, and it's all connected. And the being outside point is so good. I've been reading up on I guess a lot of people have low energy in the spring because your hormone levels has been activated by the sun. And in that transition period, it's kind of hard for your body. So a lot of people feel low energy. Some feel a little bit depressed. There's some numbers of suicides are higher in the transition periods, fall and spring, due to that hormone change. And one of the things they said was good for you is to go outside and be outside. So that's you can there's more than one win, I think, to work out and working outside, and there's a double, triple win. Yeah.
Well, they say, don't you think in the winter time, the nights are darker, the nights are earlier, it's colder. We had the lockdown during the winter time as well, and coming into the new year, we thought 2021 would have been a nice fresh start, but it hasn't started off the best. But again, rather than thinking, oh no, that was bad. Let's look at what we can do to be better and look at the positives, I think, all the time. Rather than last year, it was when it first happened, we could still go out in the sunshine. So I think it's a thing of, if you guys and we can get through this COVID lockdown, what we just have done, then the rest is easy. We've done the hard bit now.
That's true. And but hey, speaking of the kitchen, let's if we went to your kitchen, what would we find in your kitchen? Well, I mean, do you have favorite stuff you make, or what's your diet like in not a super good week and a shitty week, but like in a normal week? What does Lee eat? How does he take care of himself like that?
So people seem to think that, I have to work out a lot.
Oh, you do? Well, how funny. We do in Entirebody. We're really preoccupied with that. So it's a good fit already, Lee. I appreciate
that's a good start. No, so normally people expect me to be just eating salads every day. That's the kind of notion I think people think, or that it's strict. So us trainers, we can indulge, we can eat. It's about, this is a big thing I try and push with clients, with everybody. You can have a life. If you want a glass of wine at the weekend, if you want to have a takeout, if you want to, you can. It's not gonna, I try and use the thing of, if you keep a healthy lifestyle, and if you have one pizza, you don't have a salad and wake up lean the next day. It takes a couple of weeks. Same thing, the opposite. If you have a really healthy lifestyle, a nice balance, and you have a pizza, you're not going to wake up the next day overweight and big. It takes time. So if anything, it might benefit your body mentally again and physically, because your glycogen, your energy levels will be increased because of the big refeed meal. Let's say you mentally finally get that craving out of your body. So in a month's time, there's not a chance of you thinking, do you know what, this diet isn't for me. So with my kitchen, I kind of eat quite basic. You know, when you know what works. And with me being on the go all the time, I've tried different styles of dieting. I've tried different methods, just so I can then say, and when I explain to my clients, I kind of know what they're going through. So it's the thing of, I've got the t-shirt and I can say, this will work for you, this may not work, and vice versa. I don't feel like you could expect someone to do something without trying to do it yourself. Gives you more of an insight. So with mine, it's the basic thing in the morning, either egg whites and a bit of toast, maybe bagels, some porridge.
Toast is British. Yeah, gotta have toast. Is it toast on wheat or is it on white bread? Come on, give me some solid here. Is it healthier bread or is it?
It's whole meal, yeah. It's whole meal.
Right, good.
Yeah, right, so I'm okay with that. And then throughout the day, it's just a mixture with beef, chicken, rice, potatoes. So I'm just getting my fats and my carbs in, and I can't know how my body responds. So just basically counting calories. If I'm in prep for something, then I go in more depth.
But you roughly count because you have 10 years of experience, so it's easier for you to convert. Yeah. But it's harder for other people too, because when you start, you have to look things up. You look, how much is a banana again, So I guess the value, the long-term value comes when you've done this over, maybe after a year's time, you probably will do it much quicker and much easier and much more effortless. Yeah,
definitely. And it's the thing of looking at yourself. So many people focus on the scales, and we can use the scales as a positive or a negative. So I'm very big at, some of my clients don't use them at all. They think they are horrible. Whereas others, we use them every single day. And it shows you, and it's about educating yourself and seeing how your body responds to certain foods, certain styles of training. So rather than thinking, let's stay away, let's use them as a learning tool and learn about ourselves. And this is the thing with the counting calories, that is the main problem I find or struggle with clients is, they've tried certain diets, they've tried certain things and they didn't work, so they've given up. They've tried eating hardly anything and they're tired, but they've lost weight, but then put it back on. So it's not hard. It is easy to adopt as a lifestyle, but it just sees, about me as a coach, I kind of break it down nice and basic. So we look at fist sizes, taking photos, and then just learn. There's lots of ways of learning and lots of things out there. But it is worth taking that first couple of weeks the first couple of weeks is about, they're not going to see huge drastic changes, I'm going to be honest, but you will learn at the end of it, I know how to count calories now. So it's kind of learning to walk before we can run. Yeah. So we walk for a couple of weeks and then we start sprinting. That's the kind of style that I'd like to work.
Just the style I like too, sprinting. But to your point, I think it's really important. I read a study that find that people like to focus on deadline focused activities, our mind are like, oh, I got to do this because it's a deadline, or I have to do this before tomorrow. So we tend to choose to take those actions, but the most important things in life don't have a deadline, like your health, like love for your family. It's an ongoing long-term things, and we often don't prioritize it. So I like that when we do it, and we do that in Entirebody too. We kind of slice it up, and we make daily goals. And like you said, I think a lot of people and a lot of providers and a lot of companies out there make it over complex and make it so complex that you can't handle paying attention to it and doing all the things you need to do. So it's just the small things actually will solve the bigger problems, but it's the consistency of it, and it's building on, well, now I learned that I eat these types of things more and I drink more water. Okay, I've gotten that as a habit now. What can I build on top of that? I'm very patient in the law. I'm very, very patient, but then I'm very impatient every day. So that's kind of my approach to it. But then again, like you said, it's individual too.
Yeah, definitely. Like we say, each person's different. I've got people that they set an end goal and they want something to work towards, but in reality, it's a bit too much too soon. So it's a thing of, rather than thinking, how can we reach that now? Let's look at little goals we can break. So not only are you achieving, you get a sense of accomplishment. So that's going to then push your motivation. And then it's a positive snowball. I'm very big on that in a lot of aspects. Once one thing good, hence weighing yourself in the morning, you stand the scales, although it might read good or bad, there is a sense of positivity you can take away from that. Making your bed in the morning, that's one success done before you started your day. There's so many things we can do and I think explaining, just talking with you now, it explains how this mentally, physically, working out, nutrition, there's so many things that do come together for a happier life. I have a client that he explains how I didn't help him. I worked out, explained his diet plan, explained his nutritional side, but I didn't realize when I first started, if anything, I was more of like a life coach that pushed him, giving that that confidence. And now he's changed his job. He said he's happier at home with his children. His wife and him have got a better relationship. And as a coach, you think, oh, I'm into this because I love fitness. I love helping people. But then you don't realize the impacts you have on someone, which is, that's like a big love for the job of why I do that.
Yeah, I think society and any country or any person has a untapped potential in themselves. Even you and me, who work out fairly regularly and have done for a long time, even us have a much bigger potential in just being even more healthy, and we would even feel better than we feel today. I feel good, but I know I could probably wake up not hurting in my back. I do something wrong, so someone's got to help me. It's probably I don't stretch enough. I know it's that I don't stretch enough. I don't have to because I know, but I just got to do it. So I can put in a reminder to myself, and it's like stretch every time. Like, okay, I stretch now. And amazingly, when I stretch, my back doesn't hurt in the morning. But it's that potential, and they all affect your quality of life, and that makes you happier with your, like you said, your spouse, your kids, your job, and yourself. Most important, yourself. Yeah. So I mean, you have probably a whole spectrum of types of clients. What's the extreme? You don't have to go into personal names, but what's the extreme cases, and what's more the average? What kind of what's your field of people that you deal with? I mean, age groups all up and down, or is it more younger, older men, women? What do you think?
I think during my time of fitness, 10 years is a long time. I've been lucky enough to work in different gyms, in different environments, in different sports, which has been amazing. It's gave me these different clients that come up to you all the time, and I've always had my thing of wanting to be that person. If someone asks you a question, then one, I'll give you an idea or an answer, or if I don't know the answer, I'll either find that out or direct you to somebody that can. And within that time, when you're learning more, it's just about trying to, although I'm very big at pushing that everybody to be better themselves, I push that with myself. I've just, any opportunity I can to learn or gauge, especially with the modern fitness industry now, it's permanently changing. And it's a thing of filtering things that works or that doesn't, and then that'll make you better as a coach. So although making myself better, it makes everyone else better. So having people, I've had a client that's 91 years old. I've had a which was amazing, so inspirational.
That must be.
And then I've had, and he's a basic thing of the slowest on a treadmill and the steady walk compared to someone that's been about. I've got 5 or 6 people at the moment that are stepping on stage. I've got guys that I've worked with who can nearly deadlift 300 kilos, and it's like the change within not just the gym. I play ice hockey for about since I was about 10 to 12 years old. So I was coaching the disabled sledge hockey team for children. I've worked
good job
and coached ice hockey. So all these things have made me realize that there are so many angles which you can work at with training, which it makes it so much fun. That is every day is different, and that's the whole thing that makes it fun. So yeah, it's varied from a general lifestyle client to a client that needs to be symmetrical on the best condition they can be. And whilst doing that, in the back of my mind, I want them to be healthy. There is a way to slow it down and do it healthy, because we're trying to be better. What's the point of trying to do something where you're going to deteriorate your health? We're kind of doing the opposite of what our aim is.
Yeah, and then a good coach and a good advisor will give that advice, and then people will do what they want. People will, like, I'm a runner. People will run ultra marathons. I know their knee's gonna hurt when they're 60. I guarantee you, it's gonna hurt when they're 50, probably. But they don't care at that moment. They want to run Moab 250, whatever that is. It's a 250-mile race. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, they can't walk for they can't walk for days. They're on crutches afterwards. Their legs are like, but when in the moment they can do it. So it's amazing what people do. I think, like you said, I think the best thing to do is to find your own pace and find a slow pace that you think you can always deliver on. I run, but I run 3 times a week, all year round, all life. I don't know. I guess that's my goal. And so I know when I'm 70, I'm going to be the most ripped 70-year-old. I'm not most, because that 91-year-old, he was probably more ripped when he was 70. But that's my long-term goal. But every day I'm like, oh, I should run today. I'm like, no, you ran yesterday, Stefan, so you got to rest today. So for me, restitution. But how young people are eager. They want to, like you said, they want to get going and they want to do it fast. They don't have time. They want to conquer the world. How do you hold someone back who's that tiger up there?
Again, education. So many, especially with my clients that are competing and stuff. I think they're about 8 weeks out. They are so eager. Now that gyms have opened, everyone has just had this boost of motivation. And I must have had 10, 15 people ring me. I can't feel my legs this week. It's taken a week to recover, and I'm like, okay, we need to slow it down a little bit and slowly blend. You've been working out with elastic bands in the garage for the past year, so now we've got weights, we've got heavy weights we can use. So again, educating, explaining how rest is the time you grow. You break down your muscle when you train. You tear those muscle fibers. When we rest, that's when we grow. I use the basic thing of, imagine there's little guys in your body. When you tear the muscle, they're running over, they're fixing that muscle, and they thick an extra layer because they say next time that's not going to happen. And that's hypertrophy. That's building your muscles. So educating, instead of saying you need to rest, right? Okay, well, they're going to be like, whatever. If I explain, if you don't rest, then you're not going to grow. Then it's explaining.
Then the curve's going to go. It's going to go down instead of up. Oh, I won't gain. All right. Yeah.
So rather than using it as a positive, I know nobody wants to rest. I'm very big. I want to train every day, but I'm using terminology and explaining what active rest days are. So you can train today, but let's do yoga. Let's go for a swim.
Exactly. So like you're saying, health can be so many things. Do something healthy for your brain. Do something healthy for your mental health. Go and help someone else, because it's going to make you feel very good. And that energy you'll carry into with the next day into your workout or into your gym or into your, if you're a coach for other people. I think we're kind of, most people and myself, I find it all the time, I'm missing that big picture. But yet again, when I look at it a little bit on the hindsight, I'm like, yeah, I guess when I do that, I get all energized. I'm like, oh, so they're not necessarily directly connected, but they affect each other. So yeah. Now when, I kind of I kind of like the things to people to admit something that's wrong, and then maybe, I mean, have you made a flaw in your workout career? I'll tell you mine. And because when we do mistakes, we usually do them, and when we look at them, we obviously know that it's going to happen. We can't stop ourselves. So I think I tore my whole shoulder off once throwing a javelin without warming up. And I know, and I threw it all power because there was some girls there. This was, I was 16, because I was going to, be tough and all. And my shoulders, I heard it crack, and I had to sew it together, and it's all broken here. Then again, I think my biggest thing was that I managed to stay through the initial running in Arkansas on a track team in like 37 degrees Celsius and 98 humidity, on a team where the coach back then said, "This is Stefan, and he can take away your scholarship and your scholarship and your scholarship. Wish him welcome." Wow. And they were like, "We'll take this Norwegian and tell them where the freaking closet is." And they parked me from day one. But anyway, I just nailed it, and I came through, and I kind of went up there, and I got the respect for that. But anyway, do you have any cool things, any cool stories, something juicy?
I'm going to be honest with you, because so the only thing the other day, I was doing some Romanian deadlift, and my hamstring pulled a little bit. Not teared. It was on the verge, and that was just the thing. I was in a rush in the morning, and I had a big class, and I went straight to the gym, and I just not managed to get some water in the morning. So I'd taken pre-workout. Dehydration, it can dehydrate you with the salts and stuff inside. So nearly tore my hamstring. But other than that, I've never had any major injuries, and I think that is purely because, I mean, I've done the odd thing where when you're
played ice hockey.
I know, but they don't count. That's part of it.
That's called impact sport.
I've had plenty, and I've had pucks to the face, pucks to the leg, bruises, and all sorts like that. But other than that, it's.
Do you use ice for restitution? I see the UFC fighters are the ones who go through hard impacts.
Yeah.
They use ice a lot. It's obviously an energy intensive thing to fill your bathtub with ice cubes, and have a cryo chamber, and a cryo chamber. Who has that? Except if you can buy it in Vegas, maybe. But you can use it. I saw this hack your own DIY case where you can use a water bottle, put it in the fridge with some space in it so it freezes, and use that to roll your muscles or stretch with ice.
Yeah.
For your hamstring.
I think things like that are really beneficial. Even back to basics: 15 minutes cold, 15 minutes hot, a hot bath salt. There's so many simple things, and again, we don't have to be spending thousands on cryotherapy and things like that, and infrared therapy, all this stuff. It's just a basic bag of peas in the freezer will be fine. But at the same time, I think it is really interesting to research and understand about all this, because with working with elite athletes and higher end athletes, they do need that extra, and they have the accessibility to that. So I think, again, learning, educating on the modern times of things changing. Yes, I mean, I've got a Theragun and stuff like that. They're all great. A great way to obviously increase blood to the muscle, but then for warm up, also good for recovery. And the thing is as well, I think it's, although we have an injury in a certain area, I'm thinking I didn't just pull my hamstring because of I did an IDL the wrong way. Or I was dehydrated. It was obviously, there's a resonating pain within that, which is very big on how I work on the kinetic chain, posterior chain. With a baby crawls, they use their right hand, their left leg. How we want to push back? You push with your left foot, pull with your right hand. With an action, there's a reaction, and over time, women carrying babies, women carrying handbags, posture when you're at a computer. If you've got a bad shoulder, you normally lean to the opposite side, and that can resonate through. So I did have an injury in my shoulder where, but it was just a tight rhomboid, and potentially that may have pulled because it's on my left side, my left leg. But again, it's realizing, why did it happen? I'm not going to let that happen again. So let's stretch, let's keep mobile, let's make sure we train symmetrical, and get our water in, which is really important.
Yeah, it's that water. Well, speaking of, anyway, but so seriously, lack of water will give you pulled muscles, easier pulled muscles?
Well, it's dehydration, isn't it? So dehydration, you've got lack of nutrients to the area. We know, obviously, water is you could
it's for everything.
Go on and on and on today.
Yeah.
So you think if you've got that main element, if you're taking supplements that have got salts and things in, then potentially going to dehydrate you.
It's interesting. When I ran in the hot south in the US, we drank every lap on the court. We had a sip of water because we had to drink constantly. Because when you're thirsty, when thirst is reporting to or communicating to you, it's already too late. Yeah, exactly. You wasted a lot of energy. But then again, in a warmer climate, that's more important. In the summertime, that's more important. But 90% of your blood is water. So if you are chronically, and most people, I think in most countries are chronically insufficiently drinking water, then you have a low blood pressure. So it's like you're missing out on, it's like having an engine, but you haven't allowed all the horsepowers to come out. I'm like, shit, I mean, that's weird. I mean, I want to run fast. I got to make sure I have water. So I use that as my motivation. It's in my blood. I got to get my blood pressure up higher. It's not low, but I just know it's important for my blood as well. Yeah.
And it's a shame how we look at, so many people think, especially like the younger generation that are finally allowed to go into the gym. We go out and we spend hundreds of pounds on supplements, and that's the thing. It's a supplement. It supplements the rest of your life. So rather than going out and buying DCAAs, like hydration tablets, but you're not drinking enough water in general. So if anything,
let's start with that, and then
then at that. It's which is fine. If you know why, educate yourself. Do it. Don't say it because so and so on telly has it or so and so on YouTube has it. Know why you're taking it, know when to take it, and if it's going to be beneficial for you. And back to the thing of get the fundamentals correct first, and that will boost you in itself.
Yeah, that's true, and that's and it's that fundamentals that's important, and without that, it's hard to build on top of things. Lee, I know you're a busy guy. You have lots to do. Again, you work out every day. I don't have workout today. I was thinking, do I need to run a box today? No, I don't have today. I can do some stretching for my sore back. I will warm up a little, do some stretching. It's I'm assuming it's my hamstrings that's causing the lower back pain.
It could be all your glutes are not firing properly.
Yeah, but it's in my legs somewhere, correct? And my glutes. Right. My glutes are great. They're fine. Thank you very much. I will end every show on a question, and my question to you is, Lee, why? I mean, what makes you? What is the thing that makes you a good coach? Why should I pick you as my coach?
So I think as we've explained today, it's the thing of my approach is about not just I can give you a workout and a diet plan. It's explaining why you have a diet plan and why we eat this way, educating you how to train correctly and safer so you're going to become healthier. We're realizing if and when you need that motivation, you need that person to be as a friend, maybe as a coach, and coming across rather than a life coach, like I said, rather than just here's a workout. And trying to educate you. So in theory, in a few months, there might be a thing of where you don't need to rely on me as much because I've given you all the tools and all the knowledge I know. I have a big, honest passion for life, and I just want to shout it. So I think working alongside me is a thing of I'll take you on the journey, so you'll come out at the end a better person mentally and physically.
Okay, Lee, I might have to get some help from you. Okay. Okay. Hey, thank you so much. Cheers, as they say in the UK. And we'll see you guys next week, hopefully, with another coach. Okay.
Great. Thank you for having me. Cheers.
Thanks.
See you later.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.